Hey everyone, this is the look created for Texas Excellence. It's a super fun hot pink eyeshadow look with some glitter on it. Very fun Barbie pink lip. This was such a fun look to do because it had the hot pink eye, but also the glitter stacked on top. I hope it shows off in the video, but in person, it sparkles. It is so much fun. The added glow with the blush is just so cute.
There's a separate look for the exhibition and tiny teams and another look for everyone else.
Watch the tutorial. I've got step-by-step instructions for both looks. So grab your makeup and let's get started.
So because this is a really pigmented eyeshadow look, I'm going to start off by using a little bit of setting powder underneath my eyes. By dusting this underneath, it just catches any eyeshadow fallout we're going to sweep away after we finish our eyeshadow look. So next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of eyeshadow primer. This is optional, but it really will help set your look. I'm using the Glam Game eyeshadow primer. It's a clear primer, so it just gives a nice base for the eyeshadow to grab onto. So now grab your eyeshadow brush and you're going to use the dome shape edge of the brush. Pick up some of that hot pink color. I like to start in the inner corner here. Gently press it into the lid. Just keep on reloading, picking up more eyeshadow. You're just going to follow your entire lower eyelid. That's where we're going to focus the color on. Right up into about the crease. You can press it in and fill in anywhere where you see it's a little bit sparse. And go ahead and repeat that on the other side. Once you have a really solid layer of that hot pink color, I like to flip over to that fluffy end of the eyeshadow brush and I just blend it out and soften the edges along the crease, the inner corner and the outer corner. I have a little bit of eyeshadow fallout, so I'm taking a little bit more of the setting powder with your blush brush, pick up a little bit and just very gently sweep that right away. And if you haven't used the setting powder and you get any eyeshadow fallout, you can just wipe that away with a baby wipe. That works too. The next step is to add the glitter over top of this hot pink color. So this is where the eyeshadow primer is really important. You need something for the glitter to really grab onto nicely. So again, I'm using more of the eyeshadow primer. I like to dot a little bit onto the back of my hand. I swirl it around with my fingertip and then I pick up that diamond dust glittery eyeshadow. Swirl it a little bit on the back of your hand and then start to press it gently onto the top of that hot pink color. What I like to do is get a full base with the glittery color, and once I'm happy with the placement of all of the glitter, I like to add a little bit more. That will give you 2 layers of the glitter so your hot pink is still popping behind it, but now you get this really pretty little glitter over top of the entire look. So repeat that on both sides. So now it's onto the blush. I like to prep my brush by spraying a little bit of makeup setting spray onto my blush brush. Spritz it a couple times and let your blush dry for about a minute and pick up some of that blush highlighter color. Sweep it across the cheeks, upwards towards the hairline. It's time for mascara, so I'm going to add 2 coats of mascara. So now it's on to lips. So it's important to start off by wiping your lips of any oils, chapstick, anything that's on your lips. When your lips are dry, go ahead and grab your matte liquid lipstick in Barbie Pink. I like to start by lining my lips a little bit and then I fill it in. You're going to want to use a thin coat. You don't need a lot here. Repeat that on the top and bottom and let it dry completely. So in order to keep your lip color transfer proof, you don't want to add any chapstick or lip gloss on top of the matte liquid lipstick. And that is your finished look for the exhibition and tiny teams.
Really cute. I love the pink sparkly eye, a blush highlighter, and a bright pink lip.
Now it's time for the look for everyone else. So for this look, I'm starting off with a little bit of BB cream. After I do the eyeshadow, I'll touch up my foundation.
Then I'm adding some clear eyeshadow primer to my entire eyelid. Now we're going to go in with the fluffy end of the brush and pick up some of that soft pink cotton candy eyeshadow color and work it in across your crease area, up a little bit towards the eyebrow. Next, take your eyeshadow brush, flip it over to the dome-shaped end of the eyeshadow brush, and pick up the Pink Blaze eyeshadow color. This is going to go across your entire lower eyelid up into the beginning of your crease. So keep on pressing that in and filling in the eyeshadow color.
Once you have filled in your entire eye and have it into the crease, flip back over to the fluffy end of the brush and blend the hot pink up into the soft pink color in that crease area. And that will soften the colors together and really blend it into a nice ombre look. Now we're going to add the glitter over top of the hot pink. So it's really important to use an eyeshadow primer with this glitter color. It gives the glitter something to really kind of grab onto, and you can use an eyeshadow primer of your choice. Add a little bit onto the back of my hand. I swirl my fingertip into it and then use that fingertip to pick up some of the eyeshadow color. Unload that eyeshadow color again onto the back of my hand, that same spot with the eyeshadow primer, and then press that in over top the hot pink. And you'll start to see the glitter effect on your eye. And keep on picking up some more of that eyeshadow color on the back of your hand while you press it in. If you need to do a second coat with the eyeshadow primer, go ahead and do that until you have a nice extra layer of the glitter. You still want the hot pink to pop underneath, but this just gives you an extra sparkle effect. So now take a Q-tip and pull apart the cotton end a little bit and swirl it into the Seafoam Shimmer eyeshadow color. That's a soft highlighter. You're going to take the end of that Q-tip and just swirl it into the inner corner of the eye near the tear duct, and that just gives a soft highlight color in that inner eye. So now I'm going to clean up my foundation. I'm starting with the tinted hydrator. That just gives me a nice fresh base, and then following up with my favorite foundation. If you like to contour, you can also add a little bit of contouring in. I usually do it along my cheekbones and also along my forehead, my jawline. That just adds a little shape to my face, shows off my bone structure. So now it's time to add the blush. So I'm going to use a little bit of setting spray on my blush brush. Then I just give it a couple spritz on my blush brush and let it dry. Then pick up the glow highlighter, gently sweep it across the center of your cheeks upwards into your hairline. Now I'm adding 2 coats of mascara and touching up my eyebrows. If you're going to be wearing lashes, go ahead and apply them after your mascara is dry. I am wearing our magnetic lashes. I have a full separate tutorial on how to apply those, and you'll find that in the blog article. The last step is for the lips. So it's important to start off by cleaning your lips of any oils or makeup or lip balm. I like to use a wavy wipe and just wipe my lips clean. When your lips are dry, grab your matte liquid lipstick. I like to line my lips first and then fill them in afterwards. Just use a thin coat of the lip color. You don't need it a heavy coat. Very important tip is do not add a chapstick or lip gloss over this lip color. You want this lip color to be transfer proof, so leave it in its dry matte finish. And that is the completed look for everyone else. It is so fun. It is really gonna pop on the mat. Have a great season, everyone.